emailed me or whatnot talking about the program. So I'm currently the director of the program. I'm also the assistant dean of the division in which this program is housed. So it's always great to see so many faces. When we started the program in 2013, we had maybe a handful of students attend our first orientation. And it's since blossomed. We have 60 students who actually enrolled to be here. I'm sure that they'll trail in throughout the evening as we talk. I know the traffic is a little bit hairy out this way, so I thank you all for coming here. What we're going to do tonight is we're going to give you an overview of the program. Many of you are probably in 120 or 150. You're at the very beginning of the program right now. So we're going to talk about some of your credentialing options, some of the certificates, talk a little bit about the courses. You're also going to get to meet some of the instructors in the program. How many of you are taking the hybrid course? Okay. The remainder of you are in the online. So this is a great way for you to see each other and meet. We like to have these kinds of events throughout the year so that you have an opportunity to meet each other and just kind of network and collaborate. So this is going to be one of many that we're going to expect you to attend. Of course, it's not mandatory, but again, this is a field that networking is very important. You're going to realize that analytics in the RTP area is a very small world, and you're going to run into each other in different venues and in different events from here on out should you choose to remain in the program, which is ultimately the goal. So I'm just going to go through a couple of slides and then I'll turn it over to Dr. Shaw. Kevin is going to be here. We also have Jim and Doris here as well. And so why WIGTAC? How many of you already been at WIGTAC? Or okay, you've already been at WIGTAC for a little while. Great. And so the remainder of you are new to WIGTAC. Did you hear about WIGTAC by way of this program, or had you already heard about WIGTAC already? You had already heard about WIGTAC already. So we're a huge college. We're the biggest community college in North Carolina. Arguably, we're probably the biggest secondary institution, one of the biggest anyway, in North Carolina in general. We serve well over 70,000 students now. So we're humongous. If you go driving, you'll see the blue sticker on the back of almost every second car, right? So we're a huge extended family, and so it makes sense for WIGTAC to offer this program. This is the only associate degree right now in analytics in the entire country. We launched the program back in 2013. We had 13 students. We've now served well over 400 students now. We've given out 158 credentials. That's a combination of associate degrees as well as certificates. And so we've grown exponentially. So why are you here? You're here because, one, we're cost effective. You know that our tuition rate is very reasonable. You can take a course for about $300 with us, which is great. That's really big bang for your buck, especially if you're doing a comparison with other courses that are out there in analytics, whether that be Con Ed curriculum or training. We offer flexible schedules, so you're here because you're either in a hybrid or an online course. We actually have no 100% seated courses in the program, and that is because that is what you told us you wanted. You wanted online, you wanted hybrid, you wanted them in the evening as well. So we listen to you. We give you access to the industry software and the industry tools. So what we use in the program is what industry has told us we need to be using, and we keep current in those tools. So what you're learning right now is absolutely current. It's what you will be using if you were to gain employment after leaving us. We also provide industry certification preparation either with us or with our vendor partners. You're going to meet one of those vendor partners shortly. You have access to all of the college resources. So everything that the college offers to any student is absolutely open to access to you as well. And you're earning curriculum credit. Why is curriculum credit important? Well, we just recently signed in April a 2+2 articulation agreement with Peace College, and what that means is that the 2 years that you would complete the associate degree with us will automatically transfer into their 4-year degree that they created, modeled after our program, so that you only need to complete another 2 years with them, and you'll earn one of the first bachelors in analytics in the country as well. So they've created a bachelor's in analytics based on our program that gives you immediate access into a 4-year degree. So that absolutely is a pathway for you, and then you can move on to a master's degree if you so choose. So what makes us different? Again, we're the first and currently the only associate degree in analytics. That is changing. I've spoken with several other colleges across the country who are interested in offering this degree. They've been watching us very closely and looking at our success, and they're going to be modeling programs after our current model right now, but we are still the only, and we take a lot of pride in that. Again, we're flexible, 100% online or hybrid, and even if you're online, as some of you probably already know, even if you're taking an online course, you can still meet with your instructors at any point in time. You just have to reach out to them. There's Kevin. I call out folks that walk in late. There you go. Have a seat over there. You're gonna, okay, you're gonna stand? Okay. All right. We have fast track certificates, which means we offer an accelerated option, of which many of you are actually enrolled in right now. So we offer the 8-week course option to you. It works very well. It's given us a lot of success. Students enjoy it. There's always a light at the end of the tunnel. You can complete anything in 8 weeks, right? Anything, even if it's difficult. And so we made sure we modeled this so that we reach out to you, make sure that you're getting the skills that you need so that you can go out into the workforce right away and apply what you're learning. Again, in-demand skills. We work very closely with industry. We make sure our competencies are relevant. And just down the hallway, if you haven't already been there, is actually our analytics suite, of which we have 2 wonderful labs that students can access as well. So personal support, you have access to me right now. You also have Dr. Shaw. We have Kevin Steiger. We have Justin Rollin, who isn't here. We also have very dedicated, very well credentialed adjunct faculty. So Laura's taught for a lot of years. I've developed other programs as well. I've worked on a lot of different grants. And this by far is my most rewarding position that I've ever had was getting this program up and running and launching it. And just seeing the impact it's had on all of the students that have been in this program. We've had amazing, amazing success with our students. And I'm so proud of that. So I'm very, very proud of this program. And I'm very happy that you all are here as well. So just a little bit about the program. It is a 2-year associate degree. That means it is not a graduate program, that I have to clarify. That said, it is incredibly rigorous for an undergraduate program. Anybody have a look at the curriculum at all? I know class just started in this one day. Have you had the venture to take a look at what your syllabus looks like? Yeah, what's your impression of your syllabus?
I feel like I'm at work.
You feel like you're going to work?
I feel like I'm at work.
Yeah, exactly. You're going to feel like you're at work. We're going to expect that kind of a mentality. If you're going to be here, it's going to be with the expectation that we're mirroring what you're going to be doing when you leave us. Chris Matthews has been with us for a little while. What is your impression of the program?
It's very vigorous.
Yeah.
You will get out of it what you put into it.
Yeah.
The effort you put in will be matched by the instructors and the other students.
Yeah.
And the better you work on things and the more active you are, the better you're going to get.
Yeah, we'll give you whatever you ask for,
Yeah.
right, Lisa?
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
But you do need to work and think about spending a lot of time on the work you're doing, but you will get out of it what you put into it. And the instructors are very open to meeting with you if you ever have any questions about anything, explaining or giving examples. They are more than willing to do that. I've taken them up on that a number of times, and it's all very beneficial to you. But you will need to put a lot of work into it.
Yeah, so there's a lot of work in this program. We don't shortchange you in any kind of way. We really do expect you to do a lot of work. And really it's to your benefit, because then that's going to be what the expectation is when you leave us. we have an ethical responsibility to making sure that the skills you're learning when you go out into the workforce is not going to cause trouble for the businesses that you work for, right? Because you can do a lot of damage with data. Do you agree with that? A lot of damage with data. So again, I'm going to say it because this is very important. We have an ethical responsibility to make sure you know what you're doing when you leave us. Okay? So academic integrity is incredibly important. Don't do yourself a disservice of going on Google and looking up programming code and passing it off as your own, because you can do that, but don't, right? Make sure that you understand what you're doing. And a lot of this program is about self-learning too. You're gonna have to be good at problem solving, you're gonna have to be good at critical thinking, and if you're not, you better get comfortable with that quickly, because it's a key skill in this program, okay? Would you agree? Yeah. So we have the associate degree in business analytics. The current program study guide has just been passed around at 64 credits. A lot of you have decided to just come into the certificate program first. That is actually very common. The vast majority of our students are enrolled in only the certificates, but many then opt to go into the associate degree. How many of you already have a degree? Yeah. By and large, that is the vast majority of the students that are enrolled in this program. 85 to 90% are already degree holding in some kind of capacity. About 70% of that are actually graduate degree holding as well. So, curious, why did you come into this program? Anybody want to tell me?
I work as a data analyst and I need my skill set to be relevant
Yep.
for today.
Yep.
So what I learned when I graduated from NC State didn't even, today's skill set
Okay.
wasn't even in existence.
Right.
So I wanted to make it.
Right. Good. Yeah.
I'm actually returning to the workforce from being home with my kids. I was an analyst many, many years ago, but it was mostly Excel.
Yep.
So it's changed a lot, and I want to make sure they understand what's being used today for analysis.
Good. Yeah. Great. Yeah.
Excellent growing job.
Say it one more time.
Growing job.
Growing job market, absolutely. There's a McKinsey report that's widely cited. They talk about millions of data managers being needed. I would argue it's even more than that, because every single job that you can possibly think of nowadays is reliant on data in some kind of way. So you may not necessarily be a data guru, but you absolutely must be data literate in some kind of capacity to function in today's workforce. So even if all you ever take with us is 120, you are already head and shoulders above the vast majority of people out there in the workforce. Because even just what we teach you in 120 is going to prepare you for that next level of position.
Work is shifted from manufacturing to service-oriented job.
Yeah,
The service-oriented job, if you can measure, you can analyze, you can.
exactly. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. And all you got to do, how many of you have kids? How many of them have a cell phone? That in and of itself should tell you how much data is produced every single day. Okay? So it's not going to change. It's not going to go away with the Internet of Things. It's going to get even bigger and broader. It's going to be omnipresent. It's going to be everywhere. So knowing how to use data is going to be very important. So we're not going to prepare you to be a data scientist, but we're absolutely going to prepare you to be very good data managers, understanding the data, and being stewards of data. That's going to be very important. So there's the associate degree program of study, and then we also have the certificates. All of the certificates are actually embedded within the associate degree. So if you complete a certificate with us, those classes are in the associate degree. So you could earn credit across all of these different credentials, okay? By taking the same courses. The only thing that'll make that distinction is with the marketing, logistics, and finance analytics certificates. That's where you're going to decide what your electives are. Okay? Business intelligence, business analyst certificate, the 9 business analytics courses in the program. So if you take those 2, you've already completed 9 courses toward the associate degree. If you have another degree, please send your transcripts to the college. Make sure you are actually enrolled in the associate degree. And if you're not, I can do that right now. And then I can do what's called an evaluation, and we can actually have transfer credit brought into the program. How many of you have already done that? Have you looked at your transcript eval?
It's weird.
Was it beneficial to you to have your transcript?
Yeah.
To some way, I know for Kevin it was, yeah. So, it depending on what your previous degree was, it really depends on that. It could be to your benefit to have your transcript evaluated by me, right? We've actually had students complete the associate degree by just completing the nine business analytics courses because of transfer credits. So please do look into that. There's no charge for that either. So I'm going to pass these around too. These are the certificate programs of study. And then if you're interested in adding any of these, I can do that today. It's not hard to do, it's just a paper form. Eddie, I'll let you handle this, okay? Any questions so far? Questions so far? No? Why are you all here? Why did you come tonight? Somebody tell me why you came tonight.
Meet classmates.
Meet classmates, okay? Good.
Already met one.
I'll let you walk around the little bit.
Because I knew like just the staff here is one of the best. I mean, I already knew this is the only analytical associate degree in the country.
Uh-huh.
I mean, with that being said, like I have pioneers in front of me.
Absolutely. You definitely, yeah. And even amongst your classmates, and this is really going to be important for you to understand, is that the classmates that are taking the courses with you are absolutely pioneers as well, because they're learning a skill set. They're going to go out, they're going to transform the industry. Okay. So who are your fellow student colleagues? So the vast majority of you, like I said, already have an undergrad or graduate degree. If you do not, don't let that deter you. It actually helps to have student mentors kind of guide you and help you network as well. And so I don't want you to think if you don't have another degree that you shouldn't be here. You absolutely should be here. We're here to serve everybody. And that's why we don't have very many prereqs on our courses either. We want to make sure that you have complete access to our courses. But many of you are looking for upward mobility, or you're looking to transfer into a different kind of venue out there in the workforce. The average age of our student is 39. So, and by the looks of it, that's about right. But we do have 18-year-olds all the way up through 61, and actually I think that's a little bit higher now. We've actually had older students as well. You're looking for a career transition or upgrade your skills. Some of you are here for fun, for you. No, I don't agree. If you talk to Dr. Shaw, my goodness. She makes me tired. All right, so what are some of the skills? You absolutely need to be curious. If you're not curious, please, you shouldn't be here. You need to have some kind of inquisitiveness. You have to have an interest in data. You have to have an interest in what the numbers are going to tell you. Okay? You have to be imaginative, believe it or not. This is not a program where you're just sitting at a desk churning out numbers. We're expecting you to think. We're expecting you to talk. We're expecting you to communicate what you're seeing. Okay? Methodical. So if you run into a brick wall, I don't know how to register. I don't know how to fix SAS so that it's working for me. I don't know where to find my data set. My data set's not working. Blah, 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 blah. You're going to run into these problems every single day. You have to be methodical in how you're going to approach your problem-solving process. And the first step is not to email your instructor, believe it or not. Right? The first step is for you to try to figure it out. The second step is for you to try to figure it out. The third through the 20th step is going to be you trying to figure it out before you email your instructor. Skeptical? So are you supposed to believe everything you see? No. Definitely not in analytics. Data-driven, self-motivated, open-minded, and of course analytical. Okay. So that's me. I'm going to turn it over to who wants to go up and talk. Want to talk?
Oh, I'm good, I talked
All
last
right.
night a lot.
I know business analytics is cool. I mean, it's the up and coming field, it's a growing field, so I've taken it, but you really don't know what you're going to be learning. So let me tell you a little bit about what you're going to be learning. In 120, you've seen the syllabus. You're really learning how to find value in data, like describing what you have. You're looking at a spreadsheet of information, and you're learning how to summarize it, how to split it. You're really working on a Titanic data set, and you're going to ask yourself, okay, who survived the Titanic? Can we say something about first class versus second class passengers? Can we say something about men versus women? And you just by working with the numbers that you're given on a sheet, right, on a spreadsheet. And some of you have seen pivot tables, others haven't, but it's a really, you know, the tool is right there in Excel. Very powerful once you learn how to use it. So a lot of our students just in 120 have found certain tools that they have learned in Excel have helped them with their day jobs. Just with the simple tools that we've exposed you to. In the second course, the follow-up course to 120, 121, we are teaching you data visualization using Tableau. And Tableau is certainly now well regarded in industry. It has been used, it is being progressively used. We have a company that has set up shop on the 3rd floor of our office, and Jennifer is here from Isimo. Isimo, they are Tableau vendors. She'll tell us a little bit about what their company does and the fact that they have actually set up a lab for our students. So they work with a lot of nonprofit data and nonprofit companies that actually provide data. Not all of them is being analyzed by them. So our students can go upstairs and actually work on their data. They also have other opportunities. So you will hear from her about that. It really takes you beyond the bar charts and the pie charts that you have seen in Excel. Every time you see the blue and the orange standard bars in Excel, you know that somebody is just clicking on that Excel chart option and using the defaults, right? You go well beyond that, and again, the idea is to find value in data, but you're asking yourself what is. You know, the information is given and you're really trying to find out what happened. The SAS course, the 150 teaches you SAS programming. And why SAS programming? Why are we teaching you and why are we letting you do that parallel to 120? Because in Excel, you're learning how to find value in data. As I said, Excel is everywhere. You always have that software. SAS programming, even though it is a paid software, we have access to the full version for free. And it's a great introductory software. It's a great way to learn analytics. And once you learn SAS, it's not difficult to transfer to other open source languages. But what SAS will do for you is that now you can look at millions of records. Now you're not bound by the Excel spreadsheet. You don't have to go through the columns and rows. You're no longer limited by the size. You can have many variables, you can have many observations, and low V code, it's a couple of lines of codes and you can start finding value in data. So it's an incredibly useful skill to have, and you can apply it anywhere. So we teach SAS programming in 150, that's what you're learning now. A lot of you are signed up for that. It'll seem kind of boring because you're just learning the coding part of it. I can tell you the exciting part is coming. You're not there yet, but in 220 we actually do a pretty big leap, right, Kevin? Where we saw.
I think 150 is exciting, but that's just me.
In 220, yes, we are jumping into analytics using SAS. So that's when we're going to start. Now we're going to start challenging you to think beyond the obvious. So 220 really takes you into the core of analytical models. And these 4 courses together will give you the business intelligence certificate. Very useful skills. Remember, this is not something that you have to apply to your day job. This is something you can use anywhere. I'm going to tell you a couple of projects that our students worked on from the first year. Remember, actually, we had that video. We did an industry meet and greet in November. You all were already invited to that, where our secondary students make presentations, and we had industry reps coming in and listening to our students. So I had one student who was in 120, and that's why we said, bring your creativity, bring your imagination, because anything can be analyzed. So what she analyzed was, she said, You know, I have email from my husband, and I have emails going back to 8 years, from the time we started dating to the time we have baby. And I'm just curious to know, did our conversations change? And so he said, sure, you can use that. So what she did was she just created word clouds. And she did a fantastic presentation, and you see how love shows up. It's really big in the first couple of years when they're dating. When they're long distance, the word love appears very often, and then how it starts diminishing as the relationship matures. When they have baby, and when they have baby, the big word is tired. That was a little tiny word there. It's no longer there. But again, you know, she asked herself a question, and she found a way to find the answer. I had another student who was looking at fuel economy. He kept data on every fuel stop. How much gas he put in his cars. He did that, his wife did that, his child did that. And so they had record on all their 3 cars going back 10 years. And he just asked, he says, Dr. Shah, I just want to know if fuel efficiency declines as my car gets older. You know, they tell us it's 25 miles per gallon. But does that change when the car gets older? Very interesting question. And he just used data from his 3 cars for 10 years, and he found something really interesting, that the 4-cylinder car that he had, that really showed a decline in fuel efficiency, but the 2 6-cylinder cars didn't. So it's a simple question we ask. And we can think of innumerable other examples. So don't constrain yourself to the examples. We will guide you. We will provide you with data sources. But you can find your own. The students who succeed are the ones who are building their own portfolio, who bring in their questions, whether it's from their work, whether it's from something they're interested in, and then we encourage you to use your own data. Bring your own data. We'll help you try and find answers. We'll even direct you to the questions that you can ask from your data. But have something that motivates you, and work on that. And this whole program will be totally different.
I just want to piggyback on what you were saying. All of these examples that she's giving, these students did not have a background in analytics in any kind of way. They just had an interest in the student with who talked about the love. She's actually a lawyer, has no background in analytics at all. We've had students who've had music degrees who've gone on and worked at some of our partners. And so you can come from any background. What drives this program is your interest in what the data is telling you. You don't necessarily have to be a mathematician to be successful in this program. You have to have a curiosity and a desire to understand what the numbers are telling you. You actually have to be more of a pattern seeker, to be perfectly honest.
Absolutely.
And so what you're looking for is you're almost like
There's
a detective.
always a story.
Yeah, there's
Unless
always
the
a
data
story.
is completely random, there is some story buried in data.
Yeah.
And you have to be interested in trying to uncover that. And if you have that passion, you will succeed. And there, in majority of the companies, I can tell you, they don't know what they don't know.
Right.
So you will have to ask the questions, and you have to look for answers. And then you take it to your bosses, and they will acknowledge that, okay, there's something to be learned. Because a lot of it is just conjecture. We know this is happening, but we are not sure why. And you can actually show that with data. So the second part of our program, we really emphasize that prediction. Can we actually now make some predictions based on all the data that we have? We've learned about the past, we understand the present. Can we say something about the future? And that's the second part of the course, which is, second certificate, where we really expect you to build predictive models. We will use Python, we're using RapidMiner. We will have a capstone project at the end of the second certificate is the business analyst certificate. So know that business intelligence is the first part, the second part is business analyst. And that is where, as I said, we build the predictive models, and we can ask, we can ask for fraud detection. Chris, Lisa, and I were just working, a company in Greenville has just given us their data, and they are asking for, it's a manufacturing company that manufactures polyethylene threads for the military. And their machine, their threads keep breaking periodically, like every 3-4 days, And every time the thread breaks, they have to reset the entire manufacturing process. It's very, very costly. So they can't figure out why it breaks. The engineers have some idea, but they don't know exactly why. And so she's given us the data. So if you all can help us, that would be great. So it's those kind of questions that we're asking with the data when we get to the second year. And so we hope all of you will stay with us for the entire program. But again, the only way you will succeed is when you bring your passion to this. And yes, you will have to work. This is not a program where just by submitting last-minute assignments you're going to succeed. That is not going to happen. We will do you a disservice by letting you pass these courses just by doing the minimum amount. Okay, because like Tanya said, that you all are the stewards of data, and we want you to be good stewards. Jennifer, you want to say something about the Isingo and?
I just appreciate the invitation. I'm Jennifer Gartner. I own a data analytics company that happens to be upstairs. We just moved upstairs a couple of months ago. But I found out about this program probably after you were a year into it.
Yeah.
And wanted to find out more just from an interest perspective of what are you doing, and I have become completely enamored with this program. Like I cannot say enough good things about it and be enough of a cheerleader. So much so that I have hired students that have come out of the program. But the staff and the curriculum and what you are teaching is amazing. And so we have looked for just ways to support the students, right? I truly believe that if we all are sharing and collaborating, we're going to grow the industry, right? There are so many things you can do, and we're all so unique, and the things that we can add are as unique as every one of us. So I get very excited about this program and try to figure out what we can do to support the students, to support just the program in general, and to spread the word. So we are working on an apprenticeship program or what that lab will look like upstairs, that we'll just kind of have an open space for people to come and either work on projects or the second year students. We have a lot of different things that we're working on, but really our intent and our hope is we're in the same space here, and I know you're not always in the building, but that we'll have projects and data sets and things that we can give back that just allow you to expand the learning process and kind of add to what you're already learning and the great curriculum that you have set up. Right. So, and we're very excited to be partnering and just supporting and very open to ways that we can support the students and support the program.
And they also do Tableau training. They have a wonderful facility upstairs, and that is something that students could, not for free of course, but definitely for
Absolutely.
Take advantage of that. Even though we do teach Tableau in the program, it won't be to the same depth that they would be teaching it to you. So that's something that you want to expand on and also pursue those certifications.
Exactly.
That's something that you can go to ECMO for to supplement what you're learning in the program as well.
And our thinking is just if we have space, we'll be able to open up seats and have you sit in on things. So there's just a lot of different things we're looking at and doing, and hopefully giving you space to use.
Now, Jennifer said that she has hired her students. They are still a small company, so she
Yes.
will not be hiring all of you.
Yes.
Just know that. She's at capacity right now, so please don't go following her around giving up your resume, okay?
Now here's what you can do, though, and this is what I challenge students to do. Jennifer's giving us a data tour next week, and so we get to see the kind of data they're working on. And there are lots of questions which they're not being able to ask of the data simply because they're working on the projects they're working on. So we can actually find the questions and we can actually find the answers. And when we find the questions and answers, we're really creating our own jobs, right? So that's what I'm hoping our students will do. There are a lot of predictive models that we can probably try to show value.
Or data and things like that. And what else can you do? What haven't we thought of?
That's right, that's right. So that's what I'm hoping we can promote. So for the second year students, that's like she's giving me candy. Just getting all the data, looking at the data and trying to get the data, because that's what excites us. We want to work with data. We want you to be excited working with numbers and really finding some answers which nobody's thought of. I think that's so whoever stays with us in the program, totally passionate. I mean, all these second year students will tell you that, you can only do this when you love it. So.
And we mentioned the student showcase, and it truly is a student showcase. I invite hundreds of industry folks to come and see the student work. This year it's scheduled for Monday, November 14th in the evening over at main campus in the Student Services building upstairs in that conference area.
You can mark it down.
Mark it because you will all be expected to either present, create a poster, or at least attend. And you do yourself well to do any of those things because it really does put you in front of industry. I do get hundreds of industry reps come. They are always thoroughly impressed by what they see. And we have students from all walks of life present. The example of the love visualization, she was a brand new first semester student like you. Okay, so she was sitting in the same spot that you were sitting in at this time last year, and she presented in November in front of everybody. And so put it on your calendar, expect to participate in some kind of way. This year is going to be the first year where we're going to be providing the poster option because we always run out of time. We never have enough time to give to all of the students to present. We work with you on the presentation, we bring you in, we do practice sessions, we vet your presentation before. You're not left on your own in any kind of way. But it truly is like the bell of the program. So you want to expect to participate in this, and it's to your benefit to do so. We've had students present every year that they're in the program, and we videotape you. And just to see even the maturity level of the presentation through the years is something, it always leaves me a little bit awestruck to see some of these students by the end of it.
Yes.
And how they come around to present. But everybody does well, regardless of where they're at, whether you're brand new or leaving the program because you're at the end of it. Everybody does very well. So either you're going to be an audience member, or you're going to be up on stage, or you're going to be out doing a poster presentation. Expect to be there. Mark your calendar now.
Yeah. And we do have a career fair in April.
Yes.
So I know several of you have asked if we do actually support any kind of apprenticeship, training programs, job fairs. So yes, we do have a career fair. We do have companies coming in specifically to interview our students. We never guarantee employment. We cannot. We definitely will put you in front of employers. How you interview and whether you obtain a job, that really depends on you. And as I said, that's why it's really important for you to build your own portfolio of work that you have done. And that really helps when you're interviewing. And we will certainly help you in every way possible.
Yes.
I actually saw the presentation of the attorney on YouTube. And it's one of the ones from that same group.
Yeah.
Ben, can you do YouTube link now for the presentations from last year?
Say that again? What's the YouTube link?
Oh, it's under business analytics.
Okay, so here I'll find it. So if you go to YouTube, we actually have a lot of the presentations out in YouTube. We just look up business analytics. So there's our channel. So we have a channel. And so we have all kinds of videos that you can see. So some of these are our lessons. But we also have other presentations. So we have speakers come in, like Bryce from East Smoke came in, and he did a wonderful talk to our students. So we do have speakers come in throughout the year. We have events like where I'm up here and you're listening to Boring with me. But then we have also students like Lisa who have done some videotaping for us. And then we also have some of the student presentations as well from the different showcases like Melissa Strong. That's one of the examples that Dr. Shaw was talking about. George Kariuki, he's a graduate of the program. Actually, he's going to be coming back. So you can see Bob Shade graduated from the program. You can see their different presentations there just to get an idea of the types of stuff that students have been presenting. Greg Ganzel is a good one to see as well. So there's just a few. So just take time to go out and peruse what's out there. You also get to see some of the lessons that you're going to be encountering in some of your classes as well. So this is another resource for you out there on YouTube. Yeah. Any other questions? Any faculty want to jump in and say anything? You're good? Okay. Yes?
So how long has that analytics program been at this college?
We just signed the articulation in April, and they just launched it. So it's brand new. Yeah.
I think they just added it to the whole catalog.
Yeah, it's brand spanking new. Yeah, it's brand new. Yeah.
Would it add on to what we learned here?
Yeah, so their students are going to be taking courses with us, and then they're going to be offering some what they call lab courses. So they're going to do more application of what you've been learning with us, as well as some of the other like gen eds that you have to take in a 4-year degree. Yeah. Yes.
I noticed in some of the course descriptions, it said that certain software doesn't work with a Mac.
Yes.
I was wondering if you could say which courses that applies to or which software.
All of them.
All of them?
All of them, yeah. You really do need a PC, although they do use Mac up in Easimo. We recommend if you do have a Mac to partition it and then run a Windows environment. It's just so much easier, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
and particularly when you're working with SAS, even though now they have versions of Mac, it's going to be much easier. We do not support anything but Windows.
Does it not have all the same features or does
It doesn't have the same features for some of the software.
There's a layer of software, which is SAS operating system. So if one knows what talks to Windows, it doesn't know about that. It's just like translation between the application and the operating system.
So it just doesn't work right?
It doesn't work right, or it doesn't work at all. Yeah.
It's like me and just different languages, and we have somebody in there that cannot translate. Yeah.
So you're going to want to partition if you have a Mac, or I hate to say this, but laptops are much more affordable than they used to be, but that might be another option too. Yeah. Any other questions? We're 100% OER. That means we're open resource. No books. Can I get a yay? No books, no books, no books. So that's a cost savings to you because some books, like in accounting, are more expensive than the class. Okay? So there is no books. And that's, I mean, I gotta give kudos to my instructors because that's a lot of work, I gotta tell you. And so there's no books, and that's to your benefit. And so I know some of you are really used to having a book. Get comfortable with not having a book. Believe me, it's going to be a better way to learn, even though it makes it really kind of odd because you're used to having a book. But this is not a program where you should be looking at a book and looking for a stepwise solution to everything you're doing. There's not going to be A, B, C to get to the answer. There's going to be A, D, F, G. You all might get to the same answer in a very different way. Okay, so get out of the habit of looking to a textbook or pointing to the textbook and saying the textbook says this. Okay. Right? Anything else? So we've all logged in. Who has completed your course entry quiz? If you haven't, what's going to happen to you? You're going to get dropped. You will get dropped. Don't email me. I will not let you back in. I won't. I won't. I mean it. So do the course entry quiz, okay? Important.
Your score on it does not.
It does not matter. It's not a grade.
You can get 0. If you click in and out, it's just a requirement to show that you entered the class. It is bizarre. I've had students wanting us to reset the test because they did poorly or they got 70%.
It doesn't count. Doesn't count. All you gotta do is click on it. You don't even have to complete it. Just click on it. Just click on it. That's all I'm asking you to do, just click on it. Open it up and then close it. It doesn't matter. What else? Okay, this is the first of many. First of many. Look around. Half of you are gonna no. I expect every single one of you to be here next year. I expect every single one of you to be here next year. Okay? All right. Good. That's all I have to say. So mingle, eat, and get to know your fellow students. It's nice to meet you too. I've got my picture.